Christian Leadership Partners. I believe that I have a word from God for you today. What we want to do is we want to open up our Bible, knock the dust off of it, and take a look at and see what God is telling us today. If you take about 5 minutes and join me in this Bible study, I think that I have a Bible verse that will really make a difference in your life. The other day, God gave me Psalms 136:5, and it says this: "Give thanks to him who made the heavens so skillfully. His faithful love endures forever." Now you may say, "Steve, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm going to go to the next video." But what we want to do is we want to pause here and take a look at what that word heavens means. That word heavens really means something that's really beautiful and something that helps us to see how faithful and permanent God's promises for us are. Let's take a look at that word. Heavens in the ancient Hebrew lexicon tells us that that literally means breath. So in other words, what we see and when we're looking up at the heavens are that God literally breathed the stars into place. That breath is also the character of God. So when I look at the stars in heaven, I know that that's a picture of his character. Now, the eternity of his character means that those stars will always be there. If they've been there for trillions of years, that means that God's eternal covenants have always been there, that they'll always be there. And he, as the creator of those things, can take that, and it means that he is going to be faithful to every single thing that he said that he would do. Because all I need to do is look at the stars. I think that he told Abraham the same thing, didn't he? It also means that it's the name of an individual, which is his identifier and is descriptive of his character or his breath. So if I know that this is important to me, and if I can see the word heavens in the scriptures, and I see that it talks about the promises of God, and I can see these promises throughout the life of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, throughout the lives of the Israelites, throughout David's Psalms, throughout the Proverbs, throughout the prophecies with each of the different prophets, we can see that the Lord of Heaven's armies will always be faithful to his character, which is as eternal as the stars above. Isn't that beautiful? Take a look at some of these other verses and see how they relate to that. Genesis 15:5 and 6, it says this: "Then the Lord took Abraham outside and said to him, 'Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have.' Abraham believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith." You know, that word stars translates specifically in the Hebrew as into the heavens. So I know that if I'm looking up into the heavens, and God himself told Abraham, and we should take this same promise, that when I look at the stars above, that is God's eternal promise that his character is sure to fulfill exactly what it is that he told us. Let's take a look at another instance of this. Exodus 31:17, it says this: "It is a permanent sign of my covenant with the people of Israel. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, but on the seventh day he stopped working and was refreshed." This is telling us that in 6 days God developed his character. He set his character in place and it would never be moved again. God's name and his character is permanent in every single thing that he does. Also remember this simple fact. When we talk about the breath of God, we're also talking about God's own spirit. So if God's own spirit is a development of his character, I can know that God is going to speak to me through his spirit, and I'm going to hear the character of God when I'm listening to what the Holy Spirit has in store for me. It's a beautiful opportunity for us to be able to continue listening for this word that God has for us. So let's take a look at the word that God has for you today. "My promises to you are as eternal as the heavens. That which I promised to you is waiting for you to receive it. It will always be there for you." This word from God is indeed eternal, and it means the world not only to me. When God makes a promise to me, I know that he's going to be faithful to be able to achieve all those things for us. Our faith needs to be strong enough in one simple thing, and that's that we need to have faith in the faithfulness of God. For if I believe that God is faithful to do the things that he said, then there's nothing that's impossible for me to be able to achieve, because God can do anything through me. And that's a faithful promise from the faithful one who put the stars in place, isn't it? So why not take these opportunities? Take an opportunity to subscribe over here. Make sure that you share this on Facebook or YouTube or whatever medium you're using. You can even go to our website, awfg.today, and take a look at all our other posts. So God bless you. Go out and be that miracle going someplace to happen.